It's October 16th and it's 9:45 on Tuesday morning. At this time, I'm going to open up the Board of Supervisors regular meeting. Item 1 and item 2 on the agenda is the agenda and the minutes from October 9th.
Mr. Chairman, I move the minutes of the 9th and today's agenda.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay, we got a motion second to approve today's agenda and the minutes from October 9th. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Starting out with new business. Item A, County Engineer. Mary, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, we got the box culvert on 230th Street set last week, and they opened that up yesterday morning. So that's done. We're working on the Mallard Avenue culvert. We're trying to get the site dewatered. There is some water at that site, so it's always a fighting battle when you get the pumps out and they don't work, so we're working on trying to get that dewatered, and hopefully we can get that set at the end of this week or next week, so.
You do have the box culverts and stuff?
We haven't ordered, we got delivery scheduled for Thursday and Friday, but like I said, we're still trying to get
Okay.
the base figured out and trying to get that handled, so we may have to push it back. And then, I will, check on that 140th Street, because of that Rockwell Bridge closing, we may see some additional traffic, and I'll talk to the foreman down there about keeping an eye on that, maybe, you know, when the maintainers come back to the shop, if one of them could maybe run it a little bit more, because I do expect we will see additional truck traffic on that. And then, as for B20, Heartland and I are still discussing. We haven't really progressed much on it one way or another. George has been reading some documents, and I've been reading some documents on how this warranty would work, and so we're still trying to get those details worked out if that's the way we're gonna go. So really, there hasn't been no change. Withholding payment on the portion of the work until we get some resolved, so. That's about all I have to report on. The guys are working on putting snow equipment on, so getting ready for the winter.
It's about that time, isn't it?
It is. Tom's booing me, that's not nice.
Any questions for Mary?
I don't think so.
Okay. Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.
We'll move on to County Auditor reports. Claims.
We have the claims right here for your consideration.
Okay.
This time, Mr. Chairman, if everything's in order, I'd so move to authorize your signature on the claims presented here.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion second to authorize the chair to sign the claims as presented this morning. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Payroll.
We've got the payroll warrant for the week ending 10/6/2012.
Okay. I would move in favor of accepting and authorize the chair's signature on the payroll warrant report as of the 6th of October.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second to authorize the chair to sign the payroll warrant report for October 6th. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Drainage.
We have no drainage issues today.
Okay, moving on to item 4, consideration of ordinance 54. Ordinance readopting the existing county code and vote to approve or deny ordinance 54. We had this last week where we talked about it, 2 weeks ago.
Where we set the date for the consideration as
And,
today.
Yep. So,
Mr. Chairman, seeing no changes in the previous ordinance, and just knowing that we need to re-adopt this one, I will make a motion to approve.
okay,
All right, I'll second that.
okay, we got a motion second to accept ordinance 54, the redoing, I would call, of ours think there's hardly a change in it, so. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of said motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Anything else for the county auditor?
That will be all, thank you.
Thank you, Betsy. Moving on to item C, public and professional maintenance employees local number 2003. Tom?
I might make a couple opening remarks before we turn it over to Mike. As you probably recall, we entered into 7-year contracts 3 years ago with PPME Local 2003 for road crew and courthouse employees, which are 2 separate bargaining units. The contracts have a reopener after 3 years for wages, health insurance, and then one item of each party's choosing. And under Iowa Code 20.17, paragraph 3, all negotiation sessions are exempt from Chapter 21 of Iowa Code except for the initial proposal of the union and then the reply to that proposal and the proposals of the county. So Mike Scarrow is here today to present the opening proposals for both the road crew and the courthouse, and then we will prepare our reply and proposals and present those at your meeting on the 30th of October.
Okay, thanks, Tom. Mike?
Okay.
I'll go ahead and save the trip and give you both of them. I think you got the courthouse first, but
Get tangled up there.
wouldn't be the first time. One for you. I don't think you were too worried about the courthouse one.
I'm worried about them.
Yeah. For the courthouse, like Tom said, it's just a reopener on wages and insurance and one other item that can be chosen by each party. For the courthouse, we're proposing for the additional article, a longevity process on top of the contract. Right now, employees top out after 15 years on the scale. And this would just be something to show thanks and incentive for somebody that would be here. What we're proposing is starting at 20 years and then every 5 years thereafter that they receive an extra 50 cents. Again, just for long-term employees. Exhibit C is the wage reopener on that, and we're asking for 5% increase each year and for each of the 4 years if we're able to come to an agreement. We did not open insurance on this one. Any questions on that?
No, I don't.
Pretty simple one, that's short.
Yeah,
And you want to move on over to the road crew then?
Sure.
sure.
The road crew, their additional item that they've done is right there after 2401, you'll see that I added clothing. This is our safety glasses and shoes. We're asking this to include clothing. Right now it's at $150 a year with a maximum 3-year accumulation of $450. We're asking for that to go up to $300 with the 3-year accumulation of $900. I don't believe we've moved this off of the 150 for I don't know how many years. It's been quite some
I was
time.
gonna ask that question. How long has it been since there's been change in that?
About 2005, I think.
Yeah, it's
So I'll have to go back and look at my notes.
Clothing's come down though, hasn't it?
where are you shopping at? Let me know. So again, that's the change for that one. For our additional item is just to try to bump that up a little bit. Again, it's still upon reimbursements only. Employee would have to buy it, but to maybe include some clothing in it. And then same as the courthouse, as far as the wages, we're asking for 5% increase each year for the next 4 years, for the remaining 4 years of the contract.
Okay? Is there any questions?
You don't have to take any action, you're just simply receiving these today, and just remind you that these are opening proposals and not necessarily where we'll end up as part of the negotiation process.
Okay?
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, Mike, thanks. Either you have anything you want to say or anything?
No,
Okay?
not really.
We'll be hearing from us, Mike.
Yeah. We'll let you know the 30th.
You'll be back on the 30th?
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. Okay, moving on to item D, Emergency Management Services. Authorize the chair to sign agreement between Iowa Homeland Security and Emergency Management Division in Cerro County.
We have another grant agreement today. This is for reallocation of federal fiscal year 2009 grant program. This is for the North Iowa Community Emergency Response Teams, and they are supposed to use this for equipment funding, and it can be up to $30,188. They're just reallocating funds from 2009.
I would make a motion to approve the grant request.
Okay, I'll second it.
Okay, we got a motion and second to authorize the chair to sign the grant agreement between Iowa Homeland Security's Emergency Management and Cerro County. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we're within a couple of minutes of 10 o'clock. So, we have a couple, 2 or 3 public hearings here we need to do. And Tom, I think I'll turn it over to you, and you can tell us about the first one. Mr. Parks?
Dave Parks is requesting rezoning from A1 to A2 on 4.89 acres in the southwest quarter of the southeast quarter, section 26 in Bath Township. There is field access east of the acreage and the surrounding quarter section. Planning and Zoning Commission considered this request at public hearing on October 4th. Determined that the request conformed to the comprehensive plan, that there were no access issues, and that it was an existing building site. And they recommended approval with some minor A2 district nonconformities noted.
Okay. I see Mr. Parks is here. At this time, I'm going to open up the public portion of this hearing. Is there anyone who would like to speak? Dave?
Yeah, I'd just like to mention that a new septic tank was put in 3 years ago, so that meets all the performance of the state and the county guidelines. Property's been in the family since 1937. My brother's actually buying the acreage. We're glad to see him staying on the property. It's a full quarter, and the rest of the property is going up for auction November 16th.
I would like to have us all there, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would.
Is that a heads up to Bob and Phil that they need to be there?
Bob and Phil will be there, I know that.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
If there's no other comments, I'd entertain a motion to close the public portion here.
I make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Then I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion and second to close the public portion of the hearing. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Mr. Chairman, at this time, I'd make a motion to approve resolution 2012, number 99, the change of zone for Mr. Parks.
Okay.
I'll second resolution number 99.
Okay. We got a motion and second to do resolution 2012, number 99, a zone change for Parkses from A1 to A2. All those in favor of said motion say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Thanks,
Thank you.
Dave. talk slower, Tom, because we're ahead of schedule.
I can certainly try.
Okay. The second one, public hearing, is item F. And it's a zone change for Curtis. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Tom to tell us about that.
George and Joette Curtis are requesting a rezoning from A1 to A2 on 4.93 acres in the southeast quarter of Section 3 of Lime Creek Township. There is an access north of the acreage into the northwest quarter of the southeast quarter off of Pheasant Avenue. The Planning and Zoning Commission had a public hearing on this on October 4th. The request conforms to the comprehensive plan. There are no access issues, and it's an existing building site. So the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval at their meeting following public hearing. That was not nearly slow enough.
Well, you know what, the clock's been a little off here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Although I
got-
will say, Tom, the one behind you is actually moving now, but it's just a little behind.
Okay, thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
At this time, I am going to open up the public portion of this hearing for the Gertises. Is there anyone who would like to speak?
Good morning, Jacqueline Arthur with the Honey Law Firm. Unfortunately, I cannot talk that slow.
Oh, okay.
It's an occupational side effect that I must talk faster than Tom.
I can do that.
Tom did a very nice job summarizing the Gertises' request to change their building site from A1 to A2. Gertises do live on this building site and will continue living on their building site. This accommodates the sale of their tillable land surrounding their home. So we would request your approval to change the zone from A1 to A2. Thank you.
You bet. Thanks, Jacqueline. Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
A question for Tom. In figure 2 of the photos, what exactly is that next to the road?
Oh,
It's kind of dark.
You don't have it, Tom? Take your time.
Takes an old wagon.
Next to the road. Those are some rocks and some old wagon wheels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's hard to tell, it's kind of dark.
and a flag,
Yeah, I was gonna say that must be.
and a flagpole.
Like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Partly sunny day, Tom, there's not a
It
lot of
was.
illumination there.
Partly sunny, mostly cloudy.
If there's no one else,
Tom's a
I,
weatherman.
there you go.
My brother was a weatherman.
He was. Okay, Mr. Chairman, at this time, I'd make a motion to close the public portion of the hearing if there's no other comment.
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion and second to close the public portion of this hearing. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. What is your wishes?
At this time, I would move in favor of resolution number 100 for the said zone change for the Gertises.
Okay. And I'll second it.
Good.
We got a motion and second for a zone change for the Gertises from 1A to 2A. And that's resolution 2012, number 100. All those in favor of resolution 2012-100, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Moving on to item G, public hearing for Dickinson's first subdivision and zone change. Okay, Tom.
What you have before you here is a two-lot subdivision of about 63.5 acres in 3 different quarter sections. in the southwest quarter of the northwest quarter, the southeast quarter of the northwest quarter, and the southwest quarter of the northeast quarter of Section 5 in Lime Creek Township. Lot 1 consists of 61.58 acres. It's all farmland. You'll note that there's a flood hazard area noted on the east end of Lot 1. That's along the east side of Blair Creek. And then there's also an 18-foot transmission line easement that runs around along the south side of the lot, and I think I've got a photo of that in there too. Proposed Lot 2 is 2 acres in size. It's located entirely in the southeast quarter of the northwest quarter. Rezoning from A1 to A2 is requested. We did note that the existing house is set back only 16 feet from the north line of the property, which will be considered the front for the purposes of zoning. So there is a non-conformity there. There is a long driveway that runs along the north side of Lot 1 and actually ends before you get to Lot 2. And so the 50-foot access easement will either need to be extended about another 400 foot, or there'll need to be an easement through Lot 1 to access the house at Lot 2. My understanding is right now that house is served by a well that's about 250 feet to the northwest. There'll be a new well installed on this particular property. The Planning and Zoning Commission held a hearing on the subdivision and the rezoning at their meeting on October 4th. They recommended that the preliminary plat be waived and that the plat be approved with the proposed rezoning on Lot 2 from A1 to A2.
Okay. So one will be to do the subdivision, and the other one will be the zone?
Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
They asked for, that's one of the instances where 3 become on the 40 acre, right?
Yes.
Yeah, one of
Yeah.
those instances.
Okay. At this time, I'm going to open up the public portion of this hearing for the Dickersons for the first subdivision and zone change. Is there anyone who'd like to speak? Jacqueline?
Good morning. Jacqueline Arthur with the Heine Law Firm here on behalf of the developers. The current owners of the property are actually the granddaughter and grandson-in-law of the family that built the house that's on Lot 2. They intend to transfer Lot 2 to a first cousin, also the granddaughter of the builders of that house. The granddaughter intends to do remodeling, new septic, new well, as Tom had indicated, use it as kind of a weekend retreat. It's kind of a central location for them in Illinois to their adult children. Also, they plan to retire full-time to the property at some point in the future. So it's kind of a neat project in that we have a property staying within a family. A granddaughter who's an adult herself is planning to retire back to our community from Illinois, which is a neat thing to see. I don't really have anything to add to what Tom has outlined for you, so we are requesting for approval of the 2-lot subdivision and the change of zone on Lot 2 from A1 to A2. Thank you.
Bet. Thank you, Jacqueline. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Yes, sir.
I
Would you
own
give
some
us-
property, it's adjacent to it, I'm not very good at legal descriptions, and I was wondering if I could look at the pictures.
Oh, sure.
I have no complaints at all, whatever.
What, would you give us your name, please? So-
David Hill.
David Hill. Okay.
And Tom, just if you want to take a moment, that's standard procedure, like adjacent landowners are informed of
Correct.
these said zone changes, so they have the opportunity to know about it.
You also mentioned that the platters are relatives of longtime Planning and Zoning Commission member Marion Dickinson.
I was assuming that.
And,
Used to be a teacher here at
yes.
Mason School.
Yep, and also a relative of former Supervisor J.C. Dickinson.
That's
Was
correct.
around when zoning first started in Cerro Gordo County in 1962. A little history.
The dreaded zoning started.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else who would like to speak? Did you get your questions answered, sir?
Yes, good enough.
You bet. Okay,
I just wanted to say that
we'd like to have your name first,
I'm Dawn Pegas, Dawn Dickinson Pegas.
okay?
I'm sorry. So I'm the one that's gonna get the property.
Good.
And it was my great-great-grandma's house.
Good,
So I just want to come.
okay. Is there anyone else? Seeing or hearing anybody, I would entertain a motion to close the public portion of the hearing.
Also move.
I'll
Okay.
second.
We got a motion second to close the public portion of the hearing. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, resolution to approve or deny the Dixon's first subdivision.
Mr. Chairman, at this time, I make a motion to approve Resolution 2012-101, the change of the subdivision for Dickinson's.
Okay?
And also second
Okay, we got-
resolution in favor of 101.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to do resolution 2012-101 for a change in approve the Dickinson subdivision, first subdivision. All those in favor of said motion, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we need a resolution to approve or deny the change in zone for Dickinson's.
Mr. Chairman, at this time, I move Resolution 102.
And I'll second resolution number 102.
Okay, we got a motion and second to do resolution 2012-102 for the zone change for Dickinson first subdivision. All those in favor of said motion, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Moving on to item H, agreements and contracts.
I'm done.
Okay, appointments.
At this time,
Moving on, correspondence and communications.
I have one item.
Tom.
Dick Price and Tel Papachan from First Insurance today dropped off a, what's called a CRF return from ICAP, who is our insurer for liability, autos, buildings, contents, those types of things. And we've been with ICAP long enough that we receive a return from them each year, at least right now, and their program is a 3-year return. We received $28,406.59 in each of 2010 and 2011. This year we're receiving $20,939.04. Our understanding has been that this would be the last year that we would receive this return from ICAP, but it's possible that the pool is doing well enough that we may see returns next year and perhaps the year after that.
Good.
So I think this goes back to the good experience that we've had. And I'll turn this check over to Heather, and normally what she does is then she then redistributes it throughout the counties because, or throughout the departments, because they each pay a portion towards the liability insurance stuff.
Okay?
their budget.
Yeah, so I just wanted to
Yeah, so-
acknowledge that we have
Yeah.
received that.
It's always nice that
Mhm.
we know that we're trying to do our part. And,
Well, it's nice to see the employees to take the initiative to maintain safety. And,
You bet.
I told Dick and Tel, it's always a pleasure when they come over, but it's even more of a pleasure
When they bring money.
when they
that's
bring a
true.
check with them.
That's good. No, but I think it speaks, the quality of the employees we have, that they're very conscientious about safety
You bet.
and do their part.
Yep. Thanks, Tom. At this time, is there anything else that needs to be presented?
Mr. Chairman, hearing nothing, I will move the motion to adjourn.
Okay?
Then I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion and second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, opposed? Motion carried.